turn them sideways as personal preference. Sometimes you turn them the same as these. I guess it looks better, but I like this way. It gives me a little more area to nail to. And it's just easier for me to connect. I make that cut at the top. It's the same as the 3 and 12 pitch. You use the 3 on the common scale from your speed square, and then I think the number is 3 3/4 longer for each one. So you cut each one 3 3/4 longer than the last, and it just comes out right. You got a 3-inch rise per every foot. So, of course, that number is based on the fact that it's 16-inch centers. So every 16 inches it would rise 3 3/4 of an inch. Well, I got all the decking on the roof, the rear part and the front part. It's just roughed in. I got the felt on the top, on the back part. I haven't got it on the front part yet. I still have to go buy drip edge, shingles, get that done tomorrow. I do things a little bit different on the siding. Right here I put a 1x4 that's treated. All the bottom framework is treated lumber. So on here I mount this on the bottom, so when I use plywood for sheathing, for siding actually, and it just makes it easier for me to set the siding up on that while I nail it up. So what I do is I get some acrylic sealer, and I put a nice big thick bead down before I put the plywood against it, and then I make sure I seal it up afterwards. And for you want to comment that that's not a good thing, well, I've got a barn out there I did that way in 1980, and it's just now starting to rot or need to be replaced in areas. So that's what I do. I use CDX exterior plywood, 1/2 inch, to cover the walls on sheds. I wouldn't do my house that way, but I do my shed, and it's been working for me for many years. When I put the decking on the roof, I was just using I'm using 1/2 inch plywood, 1/2 inch CDX. When I nail it down, of course I'm using the nail gun. It goes a lot faster, but I space it out probably 8 to 9 inches along the 4-foot stretch, and then on every rafter. The rafters are all 16-inch centers, so along the outside edge I might go in between each rafter with an extra nail, just kind of keep it all flat and hold it. On the front fascia board, I put the fascia board up to where the decking comes flush. I didn't do that in the back because of the slope. And the front part here, it's got on the front part I used 2x4 rafters for those short rafters. So the 1x6s allow me to go up a little higher. The decking would come flush. That wasn't the case in the back because of the way I have it. Sometimes you don't realize how much work something as small as a shed can be. When you working with a crew, a lot of people do things, and everybody's doing something, and before you know it, there's a whole lot done. Whenever you're doing it by yourself, you don't achieve quite as much as fast. So it's just a lot of work. You have to find ways to hold things, and while you nail it, that's kind of a problem. It's always easier if you have someone helping you out, of course. As far as trying to be safe, I try to be safe. I always preach safety. Sometimes I just don't practice what I preach. I'll look around and have a mess, but I have to stop and pick it up because I don't want to trip. Especially if I have a saw in my hand and it's running. I don't want to be tripping. But anyway, that's it for this time. Next time I'm going to start putting the sheathing on the walls. Get it all closed in before I do the roof or do the shingles. I will do the drip edge for